how does one get going in a discussion with people when you want to actually make a declaration of human rights and you can't seem to come to any agreement about what those are? What's the responsibility of the person who actually has an account? To be quiet, like a good UN resolution would have us, or what?
So I don't know how far, a roundabout answer, I don't know how far apart Gary and I are on this. We'd have to talk for a week. So my view is that there is deep in human beings the kind of moral sensibility that you were talking about and that I talk about. But stories and philosophies block those sensibilities. Or they enhance them, open them, one or the other. And the Nazis told a story that profoundly blocked whatever empathy and moral sensibility packs of Germans had at the time. And Stalin, Stalinists told a story that did the same sort of thing in Russia. And the Greeks told themselves a sort of story which made them indifferent to the suffering of an infant who was tossed out on the hillside and so forth. So stories open and block the heart. Biblical word is the hardening of the heart, and among other things, it's stories. Often fear of what would happen, what you'd have to give up if you, in fact, opened your heart, and so forth. So I think in that way, accounts play a role. They're not the fundamental thing, as it were. They're something deeper, but they play blocking, inhibiting roles, and what's the opposite? Inhibiting, enhancing, or opening up, or whatever, opening. And that's why it's important to have them. It's not all important. So what would I do if I were confronted with someone who didn't, with lots of my fellow citizens who wouldn't agree with the sort of grounding account that I gave? I would do my, and if they're really dubious about human rights, I mean, if they really need some persuading, I would do my best to open their hearts. Look, here's what happened to me in visiting South Africa after the first time. I began to see the faces and hear the voices of the so-called blacks and colors. And that's what changed me profoundly. My own conclusion is that newsprint is mighty ineffective. It's actually seeing the faces, hearing the voices, or in literature, as Gary here was talking, literature and films do, at their best anyway, do the same thing. The Russian novels of the 19th century. Harriet Beecher Stowe was probably as effective as anybody in American culture and in the abolitionist movement. So I do my best to unblock and put the people in front of them.
For more information about the Veritas Forum, including additional recordings and a calendar of upcoming events, please visit our website at veritas.org.